There's a lot of anime that I watch and just seen great animation. I remember I didn't forget where I was at. For example, One Punch Man, when it's like Thomas fighting the purple alien guy at the end of season 1, the animation's on fire. Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates trying to defeat Kuma, and the Shaman Audio arc, I'll never forget where I was at for that animation when Goku goes Super Saiyan, not Super Saiyan, but go Ultra Instinct, and then he finally, completes it. Like, the animation for certain things in anime, like, it's just solid for certain scenes. But Demon Slayer is probably one of the few anime I've watched where the animation hits on every single episode. Season 2, the entertainment arc, it's only 11 episodes, but within the first 5 minutes I was already geeking out because Muzan was sitting there telling, I think Aki or Akza, whatever the dude's name is, just telling him like, hey, you messed up. You think you killed Hashira? He's like, I killed thousands of them. But the animation behind that, and the music behind it, just like sitting over the moon within the first 5 minutes. And on this episode movie breakdown series review, we're going to review Demon Slayer season 2, the entertainment arc. But before I get started, I do want to let you know I have a Patreon Zakka, for $2 a month. You get to jump in front of everybody, get your requests out on Patreon way before it come out on YouTube and Facebook, and whatever movie you want me to do, whatever question you want me to do, whatever anime series you want me to watch, I go do it because you're paying for my services. And also, you don't want to pay for the Patreon, you can put your whatever you want to request in the comment section below, and I get to it as best I can. And last but not least, please like, share, it's the big one, share it with your friends and family, share with everybody, like, hey, you want to hear a review series and hear what Ali got to talk about? Listen to them, check them out. But please share, like, and subscribe. And then last but not least, at the end of this review, we will give season 2 of Demon Slayer a final grade of 8 through F, plus and minuses do count. Now, let's start this episode off with Demon Slayer Season 2. What is this season about? This season is about the entertainment district. What happens is the Hashira believes that there is a demon, a higher level demon, in the entertainment district, and they want to find and take them out. So Tengen Uzui, I think I said his name right. Tengen, I'm just calling him that because last name is Uzui. I think I'm going to say Uzui, but I'll probably mess it up. But Tengen has his wives, who are shinobi, have them go and try to infiltrate this entertainment district by being geishas. I believe geisha is the word. If not, being escorts. That's pretty much what they are. And try to go into this district to try to figure out who they are, so go undercover. Well, Tengen believes his wife's got kidnapped, or he knows his wife got kidnapped, or something's wrong, so he's looking to find more people to help go and save his wives. Well, this way Tanjiro, Zenitsu come in, and also I always forget his name, Inosuke, come into play. They're like, hey, take us instead, because Tengen was just gonna take some random girls from the infirmary, and he's like, you guys would do. And Tanjiro, being the good Samaritan he is, like, no, F that, take me instead. So Uzui's like, all right, let's go. So he takes them to the entertainment district. They go undercover as escorts as well. And what comes down to, within episode 4, it's only 11 episodes, but episode 4, they find the female demon who's been pretty much capturing everybody and eating everybody, and they just go on a giant, long fight. Like, it is pretty much after episode 4, the rest of the season is nothing but just a giant battle. But the animation is so fluid and so good, and the music behind it, that you almost forget, like, I'm just watching one giant fight. You forget that. It's like Mugen Train, but instead of on a movie scale, which I know Mugen Train has its own like anime part of it, but I mean like episode part, but it's still just the movie all together. It's legit the whole thing. And you get backstories on Uzui, you get backstories on his wives, and you get a little more dynamic of the villain, who is Daki and Gyotaro, which are brother and sister. Now, one thing I will say about this story, because basically it's basic. It's a basic story. You have three characters go undercover to find the bad guy, and have a giant fight. That's what baseline what it is. But once you start unraveling that, you're like, okay, so it's different from other shows where characters go undercover. They're not just infiltrating. There's three dudes pretending to be female escorts to go in and infiltrate this to find this demon, which everybody knows like they're guys. Nobody was like, oh, yeah, they're not passing, but like everybody who's there like allow it to happen because they know they're doing something for some reason. But then once Daki reveals herself and Tanjiro fights Daki, which is some good animation as well, and Tanjiro's always trying to overcome his strengths. He's like, I have to stick through this, gotta fight through this. And he goes, I'm gonna try to beat Daki, but Daki's like, yeah, you can't beat me, kid. Sit down. And then Nezuko comes out, has a pretty cool fight scene. We learn more about her demon powers and her abilities. So like it just layers on layers on layers. It does do actually, this does change the trope towards the end where the characters are just 1v1 the villain. No, they're jumping the villain in this because, to be honest, all Demon Slayer upper ranked demons are all just OP for no reason. So you need to have a team to beat these monsters, and they think they got Daki. Tanjiro was trying to stop Nezuko from eating somebody because she went on a rampage, and Uzui comes in, cuts Daki's head off, and he's like, all right, we cool, everything's done, I beat you. And then he realized that Uzui is still crying, and not Uzui, but Daki's still crying and throwing a fit, and he's like, why she isn't dead yet? Out comes her brother, who comes out of her like body, because she can pretty much turn herself into like into a robe and move her body around, stuff like that. So she comes out of her body. Gyotaro comes out of her body, and then goes on a one-on-one fight with Tengen, with Uzui, and they're going back and forth, and Tanjiro trying to help Uzui defeat Tengen, but then Tengen gets defeated thanks to poison. He kind of gets taken out for a little bit, and then Tanjiro has a moment where he tries to beat Gyotaro, but Gyotaro pretty much gets the upper hand, but then Tanjiro gets kind of gets a little like the hero spot where he comes back, takes down Gyotaro, but the moment he pulls some Gohan bullcrap, the moment he's about to cut Gyotaro's neck off, he goes, no, me and you could be similar. Like, I could be like you if I fell down the same trap, because Gyotaro and Daki are brothers and sisters. So Tanjiro, who assisted Nezuko, who's a demon, they're like, we could be the same. I can end up like you. And Gyotaro's like, I like you, Tanjiro. You should become a demon too. And we could you can be just as strong, you can protect your sister. Which, I like that trope. I like a villain that has layers as well. They're not just monsters. And that's one thing I will say Demon Slayer gets props for when it comes to their demons. They're not just monsters. They're people who became demons, whatever case may be, and have experienced things in life, and they're just vengeful and want revenge. They're not just monsters out on this rampage. So I do love that, and Demon Slayer is like one of the few animes that gives the villains a little more backstory, to give them a little more reason to be like empathetic and sympathize with them, because they're not just doing this for the sake. So I want to know why Gyotaro and Daki was acting this way, and you find out at the last episode. But Tanjiro kind of already sensed this, and he's like, you don't have to do this. And then Gyotaro's like, F you, I'm going to do this. And more fights, more battles, more just ridiculous, over top, great anime. Like, the animation is so good. I actually have the manga of this chapter, and it doesn't hit as hard as the anime does. This is one of the few times where I will say watching the anime is better than reading the manga. The manga is neat, and it has its spots where it's like, okay, the series and goofy, stuff like that, but the animation in the anime UFO table just knocks it out of the park. It is legit the best thing about this whole season is the animation, this giant fight. Of course, at the end, Tanjiro and the squad wins and beat Daki and Gyotaro, and they pretty much got to go back, and actually Uzui's like, hey, we need to do Hashira. Tanjiro, let him be a Hashira. And they're like, word. That's how the season ends. But it is a phenomenal season when it comes to the combat and battle, and the music and animation is just over the top amazing. And how you get to it, 4 episodes running. Good work. I pretty much just talked about the things I like the whole season of things I like. The one dislike I can say about this is that the story itself, like the undercover, then you take the bad guy's place and then you fight the bad guy. That's been done before. But how they did this was different from most other animes. You don't see most animes where, I think the only other one I can think of is Final Fantasy, where Cloud becomes, he goes and dragged to be an escort to infiltrate the bad guy's place. That's pretty much the closest thing I've seen to this. Like, in modern day, haven't been many. I know Bugs Bunny does it all the time in cartoons, and I think SpongeBob done it a few times where he dressed up as a woman, but there was not serious. It's like Bugs Bunny doing to trick somebody, and SpongeBob did it to trick somebody. Like, it's nothing like serious, like to the point where like it's life or death. And this situation, like, it's probably one of the few animes I've seen or cartoons I've seen in the modern day where characters will dress up as escorts, go in and take out the bad guy. So it's a unique start, but I love this season. Like, I loved it. It is phenomenal. But as far as the one dislike would be the story, but then the story's been done. It's done differently, so it's not. You can't compare it to any other story. It's just good work. All right, let's get into cast and details, all that good stuff. So, Demon Slayer is created by Koyoharu Gotug. I hope I said his name right. And season 2 ranged from October 10th of 2021 to January of 2022. The characters in this season, you have Inosuke Hashibira. So Inosuke, he actually has some really cool spots in this season, like, because he can tell or sense, like, okay, where is the demon. He knows something's up, so he's the one who's hunting down Daki a lot. And then find a way he's able to cut her, and she's like, what, how are you doing this, how are you able to move and stuff like that. Like, Inosuke has a jump on her by himself. And then you have Zenitsu. I love Zenitsu. He is my favorite character when he's asleep. When he's awake, he is annoying, bratty, can't stand him. But when he's asleep, the dude is a genius. He sleep fights like I talked about at season 1, but this dude is on a whole nother level, and it's the point where, like, Inosuke noticed, like, you acting different. What's going on here? And Tanjiro just rolling with it, like, okay. Where, like, he can point out, hey, Tanjiro, this is going over here. Hey, Inosuke, it's going over here. Watch out. Like, he's able to help them out and be cognizant and make moves. Like, matter of fact, he is one of the key pieces to the final fight, to the final moment where they had to cut Daki and Gyuto's head off at the same time, and he is right there, going for the kill, and he's like, I just gotta do this Godspeed one more time. And Zenitsu was like, he's just cool, one of the coolest characters. I like his concept, and Inosuke is a cool character as well. Tanjiro is still the same dude who wants to do better, who wants to save and protect everybody, but he also want to get stronger so he can protect everybody. He overcoming everything in his season, put his body to the limit. And, like, I have to control my breathing. I have to overcome this. Like, he's going to get the big leagues when it comes to the demons, and he is stepping up to the plate because he don't want the same thing to happen to Rengoku to happen to Uzui. So he's like, I have to step up. I have to protect Mr. Uzui. Tanjiro was also a great character. Just freaking love Tanjiro. And the determination, don't give up that he has, that most shonen main characters portray, he is also that embodiment of don't give up. And just him and Deku would be amazing in an anime together. Him, Deku, Naruto, young Naruto, by the way, would be amazing. But in Rock Lee, but Tanjiro is awesome. You have Tengen Uzui. Uzui he does everything for his wives, but he's also kind of a jerk at certain points where he's like, I don't do what I need to do to get the job done. I don't care who I step on over. And they're like, wait a minute now. He throws Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu into the line of battle for no reason. Like, just because, like, hey, that's what I'm going to do because I say so. Y'all look up to me. But then they do earn his trust and earn his respect in the fight. And they're like, okay, you guys are not just throwaway characters. You guys are somebody. Oh, you now blinked on my radar. Okay. Uzui, I love his fight scenes though. He's a shinobi as well. He's not a swordsman. Great fight scenes, great techniques and everything. He used like fireworks and flash grenades and stuff like that. He's a ninjutsu. He's a ninja. I like this concept. I like the design, personality. Cocky, arrogant kind of guy, but also he has a heart of gold as well. Good character. Daki, she is the main demon that you fight, that they're fighting. Okay. Besides the appearance of her, which is just like she's legit wearing like lingerie, pretty much, like everything's out. It which also makes me wonder, like Kiyoharu, the writer, the manga, like, was he down bad during this arc? This man, every girl he made in this arc was like just like curvy, thick for no reason. Like, that's the way to put it. Like, even Uzui's wives, who are just kind of, they're a side characters. They're there to help out a little bit, but they're not really that big into the fight and don't really help out. They get people safe, but they're not really that big important to the story. Besides that, like, they're just the MacGuffin to save. They're also dressed like thick thighs, busty characters. You're just like, y'all all dressed, y'all all created the same. Like, one thing I give Bleach creator, he at least makes different, and One Piece of the same thing. Like, the characters are different, they're not all the same when it comes to size and body. But in this season, like, they all made, even Nezuko, when she got like demon and kind of like was made a little bit older, she was also like popping. I was like, what is going on here? Like, Nezuko shouldn't be like this at all. I don't care if she is a demon, she should not be like that. Why are you drawing your characters like this, sir? Calm down. Like, Daki was the same way, and then because she was like seductive and she's more of an escort kind of demon, she was like, my beauty knows all, my beauty is everything. You're ugly, beauty this, and like, her whole concept is about her, how beautiful she is. And granted, she was considered a gorgeous woman when she was a human, so it makes sense that part of her mentality triggers over to her arrogance and narcissism when she becomes a demon. But she does get some good fight scenes as well. Like, she has some pretty good fight scenes. But then when she loses, she just whines, she pouts, like, because she's not used to losing. She's just a baby pretty much. But when she's winning, she's like arrogant, in your face, just like, you really want to see her lose. Like, you do not want to see her win. And then Gitoro, her brother, he's the opposite. Like, he was diseased as a kid. He got pretty much beat up, has scars on his face, just not considered attractive at all. And he kept that with him. Like, he doesn't like anything that's beautiful besides his sister. So like, Uzui is, when he takes his hair down, the dude looks like Uzui and Inosuke both like, you guys are some good-looking characters. Like, they're not considered like a standard male character. They look like model-like characters. Like, people see, like, oh, if you watch anime, like, that's the good-looking character. The girls always, run and chase after. Uzui has 3 wives. That makes sense. And then Inosuke is a wild child. But like, when he took his mask off the first time, they're like, that's not what we envisioned underneath that mask. But anyway, he's like, I can't stand y'all. Y'all look good. You get all the women. He's like, I can't stand y'all. You guys gotta go. And that's like his whole plight. Like, he cannot stand people who are beautiful. It makes him sick. So him and Uzui go back and forth. But Gyotoro's the opposite of his sister. And yes, he kind of despised and looked down on humans, but really he's like, I want to protect my sister, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to beat you guys for my sister's sake. And at the end, he does say some harsh things to his sister, like, because of you, this is why we're in the predicament. It's a really sad moment for the both of them as they look at each other's heads on the ground and crying to each other and yelling at each other. And Tanjiro's like, don't say that, because you're about to you're about to say something really mean to your sister, and you're gonna make her feel bad, and you're gonna regret it. But they make up in the afterlife or wherever, purgatory, wherever they're at. But Gyutaro, like, his design looked like he just looked like a monster, and he fought like one too, and just a good design, a good character for what he came from, and then just his fighting styles matched it. It wasn't as elegant and smooth and just flowy as his sister. It was more just brash, bold, in your face, rock and smash, destroy Hawk style fighting. That his sister had more of a elegant, like, I'm throwing robes at you, I'm going to move away and get out the way, I'm quicker kind of thing, versus I'm going to bore at you head on and rock smash bruiser. So their character dynamic definitely does play into their personalities, and I loved it when it came to those two characters and the demons that they were. That's pretty much it when it comes to season 2 as far as characters goes. Like, yeah. Any other thoughts? No, I don't have any thoughts. The music in this season is good. The opening music soundtrack is good. The closing soundtrack is good. It's great animation. UFO Table, the studio that worked on this anime, phenomenal work from them. Great job. Yeah, it's worth the watch. This is a season you should binge. I don't know if we're binge worthy, but it's definitely worth the watch. It is definitely worth the watch. Like, you need to watch Demon Slayer. If there's an anime you're like, hey, you want to look at peak animation, Demon Slayer is that anime. Grading time. I'm going to grade Demon Slayer season 2. I'm going to give this an A-. It gives an A- for me. It's a 90%. Just solid animation, solid music. It does, like, the manga is one story, but like the animation does this. It gives the manga so much more credit and so much. One of the few times we read the manga, the manga's like okay, but the animation for the anime is phenomenal. It takes over the top. Versus the time when you read the manga seems like this panel is so much better than what you get in the anime. Demon Slayer, I feel like it's backwards, and it's solid, man. It's some good stuff. Let's see if we can get some season reviews for season 2 here. We might not be able to get that. We might just get overall, but let's see. IMDb gives Demon Slayer, homework is an 8.7, but let me see if I can get the season episodes. Episode 1 is rated a 7.9. Episode 2 is rated 7.4. 7.9. 8.2, 8.7, a 9.5 for Layered Memories, and a 9.4, 9.4, 9.6, 9.8, 8.8 last episode. So yeah, no, like, IMDb, as far as my A- becomes a 90%, they kind of give it like a B+, A- range. Like the last half, it's like all A-, but the first half like a C. So they range from a C to a B. So I'll put almost like a B+ for them. Crunchyroll might not give me a season. Crunchyroll doesn't give me a season. The seasons as well. In my anime list, if it gives me a season 2 only, it does not. So right now, I'm giving season 2 an A-. It gets a 90% for me. If you've seen Demon Slayer season 2, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode, movie breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode, movie breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.